Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a really interesting concept called Humbledom.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some text excerpts here that, well, they really push back against the standard view of humility.
They certainly do. It's quite provocative.
So our mission today is to unpack this idea of Humbledom, what it actually is, and maybe how it changes the game regarding, personal power and purpose.
Okay, so right off the bat, the source material questions this common idea of humble.
Yeah,
It suggests that what society often labels as humility, well, it might actually be linked to weakness, or perceived weakness anyway.
exactly. And it goes further, proposing that society might even sort of use the idea of humility to keep individual power down.
That's a strong claim.
It is. Think about it. When someone downplays what they've done, is it always genuine modesty? The text makes you wonder.
And it highlights a difference, doesn't it, between just like fitting in with that expected humility.
And actually standing true to who you are and what you're capable of. A key distinction.
Which leads to the idea that this kind of conventional humility, maybe it's sometimes a false humility.
That's what the text posits.
Yeah.
That it stems more from fear, perhaps insecurity, rather than a genuine self-assessment.
So modesty could almost be a mask for insecurity.
Right. And the text suggests staying small might feel safe.
Uh-huh. Comfortable, maybe?
But it argues that this is detrimental. It holds you back from, fulfilling your real purpose.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? This humbledom.
Right, so humbledom is defined in the text as this state of complete acceptance of reality, just what is.
No sugarcoating, no denial.
Exactly. It's presented as being free from guilt about the past or excessive pride about potential, just pure focus on the present reality.
So it's very grounded. It's about seeing things clearly.
Yes, and crucially, owning your current situation, no matter what it is, isn't seen as a limitation.
Okay. So it's not about being resigned.
No, not at all. It's the opposite. It's the necessary starting point for taking effective action, for building.
It's like you can't build on shaky ground. You need to know exactly where you stand first.
Precisely. And this grounded state, this humbledom, is presented as a challenge to anything inauthentic, false systems, maybe even our own false beliefs.
Interesting. And how does someone in humbledom operate according to this text?
Well, the text says someone in this state doesn't really dwell on past mistakes. They don't get stuck there.
They learn, presumably, but don't live in regret.
That seems to be the idea. Acknowledge, learn, move on. And they're not driven by a need for external validation.
Right. So no performing for approval.
None of that. Their focus is supposedly on building, leading, communicating, all from a place of fundamental truth, reality.
Because they're anchored in what is.
Yeah, and that makes them resilient. The text suggests they're not easily swayed by external pressures or opinions because their foundation is reality itself.
That makes sense. If you fully accepted the situation, good or bad, external noise has less impact. You act from that truth.
So let's try to boil this down. It's not about self-deprecation or playing small.
Definitely not.
It's about this, radical acceptance of your present reality, ditching the guilt and the false modesty.
And then acting from that point with clarity and purpose.
Yeah. The text uses strong language here. It says the goal isn't to diminish yourself, but to dominate quietly, completely with acceptance.
Wow. Dominate is a powerful word choice there. But qualified by quietly and with acceptance.
Right. It implies a kind of inner mastery, maybe, over your circumstances, starting with accepting them.
So the core argument is you don't need to perform humility. You don't need to be subservient. True strength, it seems to argue, comes from standing firm in your reality, taking ownership, that quiet, complete ownership, and then building. That's humbledom.
It's not about shrinking. It's about embodying your authentic state.
Standing tall in what's real.
So here's something for you to think about.
Yeah.
Where are you operating from? Is it genuine acceptance of your reality, or are you perhaps holding back playing a role?
Yeah, is there a bit of that false humility creeping in sometimes?
Maybe real power isn't about making ourselves seem smaller, but about fully owning where we are right now and building resolutely from that solid ground. Something to consider.
Farmers, we're at a pivotal moment in history where small businesses are struggling with maintaining and fulfilling markets. Let's face it, most farmers or gardeners do not have the time for marketing, but here is the way to bring your products directly to the people. Introducing Drakestone Milling, the company that helps farmers, ranchers, and producers get their products and goods to clients. You receive 25% of revenue from your product being sold. We deliver. You get paid. This is the future of agribusiness.